Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports is brought to you by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Visit your nearest Chevy dealer to test drive our award-winning products.
The regular season has come to an end and the playoffs begin next week. Hello again and welcome into Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports. I'm Matt Musil. With this being the last week of the regular season, there were quite a few win and you're in games on the schedule. One of those took place in Katy ISD, where Jordan was looking to make the playoffs in its first year in a UIL district. However, they would need to beat Morton Ranch to make it. The winner of this game would play another day. The loser would start its offseason. And it's our DQ Game of the Week.
We got a chance to control our own destiny.
Both teams desperate for a win to keep their season alive, but Morton Ranch gets things started. Santana Scott follows his blocks and then turns on the Jets. That's 74 of his 187 rushing yards on the night. The Mavericks up 17-0 at halftime. In the second half, things got interesting. Josh Johnson sees the pocket collapse and looks to run. But wait, he sees an open man and chucks it, but it's overthrown and Zion Jones picks it off for the Warriors. He works his way through the traffic for a 60-yard pick six, and Jordan is only down 17-6. In the fourth quarter, Warriors down 23-12, and Colin Willits goes 45 yards to a wide-open Zechariah Sample, and Jordan has cut the lead again to 23-18. They get the ball back, and Willits tries to lead Jordan downfield, but it's picked off by Marie Jack, and he maneuvers his way through the crowd. Fumbles it next to the goal line, but Morton Ranch falls on it. The Mavericks up 30-18. Later, the Mavericks up 30-25 late in the fourth. 4th and 1. Bad snap. Johnson tracks it down, just throws it up for grabs, and there's Mike Gerald there to grab it. What a play. Morton Ranch beats Jordan in a great one, 36-33, and goes on to the postseason.
17-6A district title on the line as Cy-Fair hosted Memorial. This game started off great for Memorial as Cy-Fair fumbles it on the second play of the game and Mason Riddle recovers it deep in Bobcat territory. But the Mustangs can't cash in as Chase Goodwin's pass is picked off in the end zone by Luke Carter. The Bobcats would score on the ensuing drive to go up 7-0. When Cy-Fair gets it back, they let their speedster take care of business. Zacchaeus Baines makes one move, follows his block, and then he's headed to the house. 87 yards on the touchdown run, and the Bobcats would lead 14-0. Still in the first quarter, and Goodwin looking for an open man, but instead finds Cy-Fair's David Vaugh on the interception. Vaugh turns it into a pick six as the Bobcats would lead 24-0 at halftime and go on to win it and take the district title. Both teams will be in the postseason next week. Klein Cain star receiver Jaden Smith in at quarterback Friday night against Tomball, and he fared quite well. Smith rolls out and hits Liam Lowe for the 7-yard score to make it 7-0 Hurricanes. In the second quarter, Smith hands it to Yimi Adelecki, and those are some sweet juke moves that leads to a 35-yard touchdown and a 21-3 Cain lead. Not much going right for Tomball in this one as this pass is overthrown and picked off by Patrick Batiste, who takes it back for a house call. Klein Cain wins its first ever district title with a 49-10 win. Sensational game in Cypress Friday night as Cy Falls took on Cy Ranch. The Mustangs had already clinched the playoff spot but wanted the district title. Blake Baker gets the pass off just before he gets hit, and Tracy James catches it in stride. James is gone for a 57-yard touchdown pass play. Cy Ranch up 7-0. Cy Falls down 14-7 in the second when Jacob Levitz takes the snap, goes right up the middle for a 19-yard score, and that ties it up at 14 apiece. Cy Ranch would go up by halftime as Baker finds Jared Sample in the middle of the field, and oh my goodness, look at that speed. Sample takes off down the field for a 70-yard score, and the Mustangs up 21-14 at halftime. In the fourth quarter, the Cy Falls Golden Eagles down 27-21. And knowing they can't afford a loss if they want to play in the postseason, Trey Morris would rip off this 59-yard run to the house. The Golden Eagles would miss the extra point, though, and we head to overtime, tied at 27-all. Levitt's on the keeper for Falls, and it looks like he's dragged into the end zone before he's down, but the ball is placed at the 1. That's where Morris scores up the middle, and Cy Falls wins it 34-27, and the Golden Eagles punch their ticket to the second season.
Spring needed a win over Eisenhower Thursday and some help to avoid missing the postseason for the first time since 2013. In the second quarter, Eisenhower up 7-0, and Eagle quarterback Zach Henry fakes the handoff and keeps it himself for his second running touchdown of the contest, and the Eagles go up 13-0. Later in the second, Spring's Claude Johnson Jr. throws a beautiful ball to Desmond Landry for a 23-yard touchdown. Lions only down 13-7. Late in the third, Eisenhower down 14-13, but Henry swings a pass to Texas commit Ryan Niblett, and he uses his speed to score on the 10-yard play. Eagles up 19-14. Same score, just over a minute left in regulation. Johnson trying to lead the Lions to victory, but Jonathan Corbin gets the pick and returns it for a touchdown. That interception earns Eisenhower this week's defensive title belt and sends them into the postseason on a high note as they win it 25-16. Bridgeland could clinch a playoff spot with a win over Cy Springs, while the Panthers need a win and some help. It's a low-scoring affair until Tim Saunders runs it in from the 1, and Cy Springs takes a 7-3 lead late in the second. Bridgeland takes the lead just before halftime. Jeff Lewis hooks up with Mason Simmons for a 19-yard touchdown, and the Bears are up 10-7 at halftime. Just the kind of momentum Bridgeland needed, as they would outscore Cy Springs 17-3 in the second half. An 11-yard touchdown run for Noah Allen Culler, and Bridgeland is heading to the postseason with a 27-10 win. Montgomery Lake Creek going for an undefeated season against Brenham on Friday night. Oh yes, there was also a district title on the line. Lake Creek already up 13-6, and Tyvon Byers finds some open space, and he's out of here. It's an 80-yard touchdown run. That puts the Lions up 19-6 early in the second quarter. Later, it's tied up at 19 apiece in the second. Cade Tessier fakes the handoff and goes deep to Sam Lee for the 60-yard touchdown pass play. 26-19 Lake Creek at the half. In the fourth quarter, the Lions are down 42-40, but Tessier passes 47 yards to Carson Putzka for the go-ahead score, and Lake Creek wins its first ever district title with a 54-42 victory. Let's take a break from the action now to introduce you to an elite athlete from the Houston area. You know, University of Houston head coach Dana Holgerson has received commitments from quite a few Houston area stars, and that includes this week's Parker University MVP, Klein Forest running back Parker Jenkins. Klein Forest Parker Jenkins could be one of the more overlooked running backs in the Houston area. He's a two-time all-district performer and should make that 3 in a row this season. Whether he lines up at running back or in the Wildcat, Jenkins is hard to bring down. He has shifty moves out of the backfield, and once he gets to the sidelines, he's gone. Jenkins will be playing at the University of Houston next fall. And for his accomplishments on the gridiron, we are happy to present Parker with a custom-made bobblehead that we gave him earlier this week. Hey, Parker, what do you think of that thing?
I think it's nice. You sent me a picture of it, and I was like, I've never had this happen to me before, so it's an honor and a blessing in disguise. I want to get another one made, but that's later down the road, so yeah, we'll speak on that later.
All right, let's start off by letting you tell me what makes you such an elusive running back.
Me playing it for such a long time. When you play a position for a time, you learn all the tricks behind it and all the things that you do best behind it, because there are different types of backs, but I find myself as an elusive one.
Okay, now your speed is what most analysts are drawn to, which is why you are lined up in the Wildcat a lot for the Golden Eagles. Because you can get away so quickly from there, do you enjoy taking the ball from center instead of a quarterback handing it to you?
Playing with a lot of styles, because I played quarterback in Little League, so I had that experience from under center, and so it just depends. It depends on the team preference. If a team likes it under center, then I'm just all for it, as long as I can showcase my abilities.
All right, I know you had a lot of offers, Parker, but you decided to go with the University of Houston. Coach Dana Holgerson has been landing a lot of local talent. Was playing in your hometown a factor in your decision?
Yes, of course, and because of Coach Jinks. Coach Jinks, short amount of time with his dedication and keep poking at me, it was like, we need to get you here, we need to get you here. And I was like, if they offer all of this at home, why not stay at home?
All right, Parker, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Coming up, our Chevy Spotlight shines on an incredible volleyball season at Cy Ranch.
The Game of the Week is brought to you by your local DQ, serving up the best treats and eats in Texas. Stop by DQ and treat yourself before and after the game.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job, so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Looking to spice things up? We're just gonna leave this right here. You're looking at the new Spicy Patty Melt from DQ. It's our pure beef patty, topped with spicy pepper jack, jalapeno ranch, and our famous crispy Jalitos. All piled on Texas toast and ready to spicy patty melt in your mouth. Finish it off with your favorite treat. For a limited time, from nobody but DQ.
DQ, that's what I like about Texas.
Imagine yourself working on the sidelines as a strength and conditioning coach for collegiate and professional athletes. We want to help make that happen with a bachelor's or master's degree in strength and human performance at Parker University. We help students discover their true potential and land prestigious positions. Parker University provides state-of-the-art classroom technology and exciting internships, preparing graduates for careers in collegiate and professional athletics, sports rehab, and more. Start the journey to your ideal career today. Go to parker.edu.
Nothing sounds better than your school's fight song, except the beat of the Louisiana Hot Sauce Hot Plays of the Week. This week's Hot Play of the Week is the original Louisiana brand hot sauce, the brand that made Louisiana famous. Grab some today.
Come experience Floor & Decor's grand opening in Tomball. Our high-quality selection and free design services add to your experience, not your expenses. And with a new store in Tomball, creating the space to match your taste has never been easier. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Tomball.
The MVP is brought to you by Parker University. Do you or your student want a career training the world's best athletes? Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today.
And welcome back to Chevy's Inside High School Sports on this Saturday night. I'm Matt Musil. With the postseason right around the corner, there were many more meaningful games in Week 11. Let's get back to the highlights. The winner of the Brazos Wood and Clear Lake game gets the last playoff spot in 24-6A. In the second quarter, Brazos Wood up 14-6. And the Bucks' Jaden Blackman comes from out of nowhere to pick off this pass and return it 30 yards for a score. Brazos Wood up 21-6 late in the second. Clear Lake would make it close going into halftime. Elijah Harris takes the handoff and punches it outside for a 7-yard touchdown. The Falcons trail 24-17 at the half. The Buccaneers pull away in the second half. Isaac Ponce with a fake to his left and then dumps it off across the middle of the field to Cade Bankston, and he takes off for a 60-yard touchdown. Brazos Wood is back in the playoffs for the first time in 11 years with a 52-24 win and will face Shadow Creek next week. Fulshire would clinch a share of the district title with a win over Richmond Foster Thursday night. Fulshire running back Davion Godley had himself a ball game. This 4-yard touchdown run in the second quarter put the Chargers up 30-14 going into the half. Foster would trim the lead though when Ashton Ojaku rushes it in from 20 yards out. The Falcons down 38-20.
but Godley would score his fourth and final touchdown of the night. This one a 21-yard score, and Fulshear wins it 58-32 to get a piece of that district crown. The volleyball playoffs are underway, and the Houston area will have some real contenders for state championships. Our Chevy Spotlight heads out to Cy Ranch as the Mustangs have swept through their district opponents for a second straight year. However, these girls have their eyes set on a bigger prize. At Cy Ranch, the volleyball team puts in long, hard practices every time it hits the floor, which is why it should be no surprise that the Mustangs were ranked second in the state going into this week's playoffs. Coach Chrissy Woodward preaches you only get out what you put in.
Every drill, like you said, from the warm-up is about effort, attitude and effort, and the two things that you get to control. So I think that, going back to your training, what are you making important for these athletes?
She likes to push on the fact that we just need to keep going and push each other and lift each other up and make sure that to keep talking, because talking through everything, that's what's going to get us into playoffs.
Every day we come in here, we go for balls that we don't know if we can get, but if you try for it and you know you can get it, then you can go. You never know what you can and can't do, so you got to practice how you want to play in the game and push yourself to be better.
Unfortunately for them, Cy Ranch couldn't get past the Woodlands Thursday night, as the Highlanders have had their number the past few seasons. But that doesn't take away from an amazing season by Cy Ranch. Before this week, Cy Ranch had only lost twice this season. One of them was a 3-set loss to Cornerstone, the #1 team in the nation. Clearly, the Mustangs fielded one of the most dangerous teams in the state.
They do a good job of running the floor, very fluent, it's really smooth, and our offense fires away whenever we're clicking. It's really smooth and pretty. So they're able to hit a lot of shots that they wouldn't be able to, but the setters are doing a good job of putting it in their hands.
Everyone wants to beat us, and we're that team. Everyone's beatable though, so you never know what could happen, but we're very thankful and blessed because not a lot of people can have that. We have a great coach who knows what she's doing, so we're just going to continue to work hard and see where we can go.
And the Mustangs have been breaking records along the way. As a team, they've won the most consecutive games in a row and have gone undefeated in district for the second year in a row. However, outside hitter Bianna Manecki is shattering records left and right. Manecki, daughter of former UT basketball star Gabe Manecki, felt overlooked as a volleyball player, so she spent the past 3 years improving her game. Now she holds Cy Ranch records for kills and aces per set and kills per match, and has earned a scholarship to Texas A&M.
For a long time I wasn't making any of those rankings, and it really it angered me, so I wanted to find a way to do something to be great and leave something behind. So I figured leaving a legacy at Ranch is the biggest thing. So I broke all the hitting records, and that was a huge thing for me, because if you're not going to rank me, I'm going to show you why you need to rank me. So I broke every record, and I'm not done yet.
As a team, just in general, she's not able to break those records unless we're able to pass and set. And so I think as a team, the records speak highly of this team, and therefore is a direct reflection of their hard work.
All right, when we return, John Poorman from the Houston Chronicle tells us what players to look out for in the postseason.
Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports is brought to you by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Visit your nearest Chevy dealer to test drive our award-winning products.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job, so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
SoChill Chips and Salsa have made their mission to always provide the finest products and flavors crafted from authentic family recipes. The result? The thinnest, crispiest chips in the market. Experience the flavors of ancient cooking. So thin, so crisp, so good. SoChill.
Imagine yourself working on the sidelines as a strength and conditioning coach for collegiate and professional athletes. We want to help make that happen. Parker University helps prepare graduates for careers in athletic training, sports rehab, and more. Apply today at parker.edu.
Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports is brought to you by Lone Star Chevrolet. Visit your nearest Chevy dealer to test drive our award-winning product.
Welcome back to the show on this Saturday night. Hey, the 6-week journey for state glory starts next week, and this is where the stars shine the brightest. Let's take a look at who will be counted on to show up big in the playoffs in our Floor and Decor Next Level. John Poorman from the Houston Chronicle joins us now. Hey, John, we know that North Shore and Katy will be favorites to make deep playoff runs, but talk to us about a few players who need to really step up if their teams hope to make it to AT&T Stadium.
One team that's going to be heading into the postseason with plenty of momentum is Shadow Creek. You know, they've been state ranked pretty much all season, even without their starting quarterback, Duke Butler. And he would be my choice as a player who is going to need to step up for them. You know, he went down with a broken collarbone in week 2, had surgery, and has come back. He, played finally, made his return in week 10. So, I think the Shadow Creek team, obviously, Ja'Cory Watson has done a great job of filling in for Duke, but I think if they're going to make a deep playoff run, they're going to need, Duke's senior leadership, his ability at that quarterback position as a senior, knowing the offense under his father, Brad Butler, the coach. And, I think that, with him returning, that's a big addition for the Sharks there. Another player to watch, PJ Hatter, who we've talked about before out of Westfield. Quarterback play is so important, and we know these Westfield teams are always making deep playoff runs, but I think that, with what he's been able to do this year, he has the potential to kind of, take them to the next level. So he's a guy that I'm definitely watching. Another quarterback, Zion Brown out of Atascocita. We saw Atascocita fall in a really close game against North Shore, their District 21 6A foe there, and if they're going to be able to climb that mountain and maybe knock off North Shore in the playoffs, they're going to need some big performances out of Zion there at the quarterback position.
All right, John, thanks a lot for that. I certainly can't wait for these playoffs to get started. When we come back, we will have our Plays of the Week.
Next Level is brought to you by Floor and Decor. Let us help you take your home improvement project to the next level.
Come experience Floor & Decor's grand opening in Tomball. Our high-quality selection and free design services add to your experience, not your expenses. And with a new store in Tomball, creating the space to match your taste has never been easier. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Tomball.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job, so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Only the ultimate fans make the Louisiana Hot Sauce Hot Plays of the Week. This week's Hot Play of the Week is the original Louisiana brand hot sauce. Hot sauce for those that bring the heat on game day. The Hot Plays of the Week are brought to you by the original Louisiana brand hot sauce. When you need to bring the heat, reach for the original Louisiana brand hot sauce.
And that's going to do it for this week's show, but make sure to join us again next week as we'll have the best playoff highlights you'll find in the area. Until next week, here's a look at some of the best plays from last week in our Louisiana Hot Sauce Hot Plays of the Week. Good night.